Welcome, guys. Another 2v2 Jackpot tournament. This is the semifinals. Riot was going to co-cast. I don't know what he's up to right now. All right. All right, so I'm gonna just roll since Riot's sleeping. Let me get it pulled up. Spanish is the first civ. And Indians. So Spanish and Indians. I do need to pull up the map first because that's just how it's been going. Let me raise this a bit. We are doing a bit of a lag test. The map is Nepal. We'll get to the civs. We're gonna re-roll the civs. I'm re-rolling them because we're just gonna leave it on Nepal and we're gonna roll the civs. We're doing a bit of a lag test real quick. I can just show that while we're waiting. We're confirming that that is not gonna lag. Apparently Riot and Mitoe often lag just with each other. So if that is the case, then Riot is going to screen share with me. So a little bit laggy at the start. Let's see if it continues to do so. Wait, oh, they allowed cheats. That's funny. Alright. Just a little bit of a lag test here. Just trying to hit Tokugawa. They're just lag testing, putting cheats on, spamming a bunch of units out so that they can see how bad it is. It's kind of funny to watch. Alright. Alright. Out. Alright, so it seems okay enough. So that's what we'll do. Alright, so we're just gonna have it like this. Let me see where Riot is. I was intending to do it beforehand, but players and co-caster did not make it really in time to do that beforehand. Also, I can turn off the music. There we go. Yeah, 1-0, right, SirCallen? GG, easy. Hey, Riot, how's it going, man?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing great. All right.
Looks like the game didn't lag too much, at least.
Yeah, it seemed to like some, but they're okay with going forward with it. So that's what we'll do. Yeah. We need to get SirCallen in here. I'm also casting without a webcam for kind of the first time, seeing how it goes. I don't know if you guys are gonna like that more or not. So we're gonna see on that. The map is Nepal, and let me get the maps out. So here's the map, and now the civs. The first civ for Kaiserklein is going to be Spanish. The next one, Kaiser+Mitoe+Fare Spanish hordes. And for Kaister+SirCallen, it's going to be Brits and Russians. All right, I like these. I like these here. I think perhaps Brits and Russians on this map, at least since there's no water. I think players would enjoy those civs more than Spanish and Ports.
Yeah, and that's a respin. Yeah, Britain and Russia in that matchup in particular is it's pretty difficult for Spain and Portugal to really do anything. Obviously, you do have Lancers of Spain there, so you can utilize those against Russia and Brit. You don't tend to see many Dragoons coming out for Brit or anything like that. But yeah, a respin coming in. Nepal also, as a map, I think is quite good for Russia and Brit because you can go for a forward base and take the TP line.
Yeah, the TP's pretty close together, pretty easy to control all of them together. The map for the respin is Manchuria, and then Japan is the first civ for Kaiser and Mitoe. The second one is Russians. I think they're going to be happy with this. I don't expect a respin from them. On the other hand, Kaister and SirCallen, we'll see what they get. This is the second semifinals, Malone. The first one was played already. If you want to watch that, Kaister and SirCallen get China and China. I expect a respin here, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, the first one was already played. I believe that was. All right, we're getting a second respin. All right, getting all the respins out of the way early. The first one was already played, Haza, and if you want to watch that, you can watch it on. I believe it's already uploaded to YouTube. If it's not, you can watch it on my Twitch on previous games. Yeah. So respinning it, and the map is Cascade Range. I like the map for. I think it's going to favor Kaiserklein+Mitoe a bit. It's less of a. It's a early aggression map, which favors 1v1 playstyle. So I think that is good for them.
No TP map Cascade Range, right?
Correct.
It's one with the native TPs, full native TPs.
Right. Su and Brits are what Kaiser and Mitoe get.
Good combo. Su and Brits actually an incredible combo. Longbow and Bowrider is I think one of the best combos you can get in 2v2, really.
Yeah, it's really, really strong. Russians and Dutch are the civs for Kaister and SirCallen. I think they have an answer to the Su and Brits expected Bowrider and Longbow in Russians and Dutch. We'll see what they do with it, though.
Looks like they're going to go into it, seeing as Callen's now picking Russia, Kaister picking Dutch there. And honestly, actually, I think Russia and Dutch quite a good team actually for this map in particular. I mean, Cascade Range doesn't have huge treasures. Su's not as good as normal, and obviously Russia and Dutch both have skirms and skirm is basically a skirm type unit in the second age, which deal quite nicely with Bowriders. So yeah, Kaiser going Su, Mitoe going British, and we'll have to wait and see what goes on. Somehow I have a. Kaiser's a bit yellow for me, but hopefully that subsides. There you go.
Yeah, he was a bit yellow for me now. Now he's green. Yeah, this map, Cascade Range, they haven't switched over to it yet. But Cascade Range is a map that doesn't... Here, let me go to the lobby. Sorry about that. Cascade Range is a map that favors heavy aggression because there's not really hunts or mines behind your base. you're starting TC. There might be 1 or 2 total for the team, and then there's plenty off to the side, but you don't start with very many safe hunts and mines. It's most everything is forward, and there's a bunch of berry bushes too. Usually, or whoever wins the early aggression usually wins. I will say, civilizations that allow your team's natural resources to last longer, such as Dutch having banks allowing mines to last longer, and Sioux having hunts in their cards allowing their hunts essentially to last longer. They are really strong. Japan's also another strong civ on here due to that. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to play, what's going to happen. Dutch and Russians, they're both primarily skirm civs. They do have good options in cav, but I don't know what we're going to see here. Perhaps something along the lines of just enough pike to defend from Kaister. I don't know. But I'm interested to see. Yeah.
I feel what you do is you either age up as Dutch here, try and go, if you can get the pressure off, go into sort of Reuters age 3 and let Callen go for a lot of those age 2 strelets, or you even go musket skirmisher. I mean, that can work quite well against sort of axe rider longbow, if you will, because obviously musketeers do quite well against longbows anyway. But yeah, into this map, it does have a bit of water on the sides, which actually Russia and Britain, I think, are the only 2 civs here, which would probably go for a couple of fishing boats on the sides. Also, actually, if they get a decent start of a wood crate, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that. You don't really want to go like a full heavy sea deck. Sometimes some warships are nice, but yeah, just building a dock. You don't even need cards for it. Just a dock and like 5 to 10 fishing boats is nice on this map.
Yeah, there's really enough fish in either pond for a couple of boats anyway.
Yeah,
I'll let you introduce the players.
All right, this is game number 1, semifinals match between Kaiserklein+Mitoe versus Kaister and DJ Too Strong, aka SirCallen. The map is Cascade Range, and the players, we see Kaiserklein spawning in blue here as the Sioux, Mitoe spawning in teal as the British, Kaister spawning in green as the Dutch, and SirCallen spawning in red as the Russians. I'm excited for this match. What do you think's gonna... We already talked about the matchup a little bit, but do you think it favors Sioux and Brits or Russians and Dutch?
I think Sioux and Brits. Sioux and Brits is just such a strong combo, especially in H2. You do have bow riders, which are really, really good against anti-cavalry and cavalry, actually. Both of them are really good against both. And obviously you do have longbows, which beat out H2 skirmishers and the Russian strelets quite handily when they're micro correctly. And it is, of course, Kaiserklein playing the British here. Oh no, Mitoe's playing British, but either player can micro longbows very, very well. So they're incredibly effective when you micro them correctly. Although, at the same time, Dutch and Russia are quite strong picks for this map. Dutch have obviously banks, and they use a lot of coin anyway, so you tend to keep your resources for the long run, which is what you want on the map with low hunts, low hunts like this one. And obviously Russia can go block houses everywhere, which secure hunts like an outpost would. So it should be quite close, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you. Perhaps for the map, not talking about like there's team civs, but their own civs themselves. Dutch is really good on this map. Russia also really good on this map. British, not quite as much because you need so many hunts as Brits, and that means that you're going to have unprotected villagers unless, I don't know, you build outposts or walls or something, or you have that much map control. I don't know. Sioux is pretty decent on this map. They do have the ability to ship bison themselves, and they also have the ability to raid really well, which is very effective on this map. So I would say, as far as the map goes itself, I probably would favor Russians and Dutch. But as far as the civ combinations, 2 versus 2, I probably agree with you. Brits and Sioux, very, very strong. Dutch are extremely strong in EP, though, and Russians, they haven't really changed much from RE. Pretty much the same thing.
I don't think Russians even They've already changed in terms of some of the costing of their units, but it's so minuscule that it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
So Russia is pretty standard in terms of AoE. You can look at the decks here. Pretty standard decks from both Kaister and Callen here. We've got the Russian and the
I like
Dutch
the
players.
team spice trade from Dutch.
Is it in there?
It is in there. It's going to be really, really nice for Russia. Russia uses an insane amount of food, and it also affects berry bushes, which is really, really nice touch there. Looking at Russia's deck, he also has spice trade himself, so he's gonna make full use of those berry bushes, I would guess.
The only problem with the Dutch having that team spice trade is where do you fit it in? Obviously, as Dutch, you want to be ready as banks. You also have stuff like team infantry hit points, which is incredibly good with Russia because you know Russia's going to be making a lot of strelets. And there's just so many cards you can send as Dutch in H2, but I don't know how you fit in that team spice trade. And it's only 10% on hunted animals, so it's like another hunting dogs, which is good, but it's not the greatest. A bit of just getting caught here from that Kaiser's Explorer.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I'd even try to build a blockhouse at this point. All of the explorers are there. They're not gonna. I mean, you might get a blockhouse up, but it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to build with it. Perhaps if Minutemen were sent for it or something, you could. But yeah, going back to it, yeah, I don't expect Team Spice trade too early. Probably one option is you'd want to definitely send a bank wagon and 700 wood first. You could send it after that. We'll see what happens. We'll take a quick look at Sue's deck before we get to this action. He does have Spice Trade and Great Hunter. He doesn't have Furrier, interestingly enough. Perhaps that would be a better option than Spice Trade for Sue, but allowing you to fit another card into H2. Looking at Mitoe's deck here, see that, and then we'll get back to the aggression. Yeah, this blockhouse will likely go up, but it's not going to have much HP, and good chance of it going down before it goes up anyways, before units come out. Looks like it's not going to, though. Kaister+SirCallen getting the Explorer low enough. To be honest, if the Sioux War Chief went down in exchange for the blockhouse going down, that's not a terrible trade. I'd still rather have the blockhouse, but Sioux War Chief with units early can do a lot in a raid.
Also 100 XP going to Russia, which wouldn't be too great. And of course, you could build a blockhouse pretty easily again. It is going to be repaired here, but that did also just cost him about 100 wood from those explorers. So that's quite nice from Sue and Sue and Britwa. By the looks, we're going to go for Cossacks as the first card for Russia here. Pretty standard. If anything else came out, I'd be pretty surprised. But if we look at units in queue, by the looks of it, Callen actually doesn't have any units in queue yet. So he's only just gone for the Cossacks. 700 wood now coming in for Mitoe, as well as a couple of bow riders from Kaiser in queue. And these Cav from Dutch here aren't going to be too useful actually. Nor of these Cossacks, I don't think, because of the bow riders which Sue has.
Yeah, that's true. They might be able to split up, go around the sides, and get some good rates. It is interesting to note that Brits aged with 500 food instead of an outpost and 200 coin, which is going to help his boom a little bit. Coin is not super beneficial in building manors or building longbows. So I can respect that decision. It is I don't know. It's an interesting choice. We don't see that often, but that's what he went for. We see the raid from the Classic coming in, getting the villagers about half HP, but not losing it. And starting to harass a couple more vills. Bow Riders coming in, though, and they should get some good damage done. He splits one off to slow down the Bow Riders. The rest are going to make it out. We have a raid by Sue over here, and they're not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, those Bow Riders do incredibly well versus villagers, but actually, Callen hasn't got Greatcoats on there yet. I would like to see him get it in just a second, because you know you're going to be harassed by Sue a lot of the game. That tends to be what Sue does in team. They just go around being annoying and generally just a pest to play versus because they're always on your villagers. Great Hunter coming in here. This is a build I quite like to do myself, actually. You go 3 hero, 5 vil, and then Great Hunter is Sue. Your villagers they're so fast on these hunts compared to other civs.
So, interestingly enough, we see muskets and cav out from Kaister+SirCallen. No no Strelets or Skirmishers yet. Versus
Well,
Bow
this is gonna be
Riders, that's a little bit perplexing to me.
Yeah, and actually, Mitoe went for Musk Bow. Mitoe and Kaiser went for Musk Bow right there. So these Tussars are particularly useless. They're just going to be fighting basically their counters both times. And really, what is there to do? He doesn't have any Strelets in the film. If maybe if 13 Strelets came out, it'd be fine. Although 700 coin, and also the wood being shipped forward is terrible for Callen. There's a chance that block cost goes down, and 700 wood early on is sort of devastating to lose.
Yeah, for sure. That's terrible, terrible. We also have a raid coming here at the same time as the fight. One villager going down, and second one going down. Pretty effective raid. In the middle of this fight, under the blockhouse. I really like this for Kaister+SirCallen with those villagers being picked off. Another one going down. Kaiserklein has not even noticed it yet. Lots of damage done economically, and they gonna win the fight. Kaiserklein and Mitoe are gonna win this fight, but Dutch going to age 3 right now. So if they take down, really, if the 700 wood was shipped back home, I would be okay with Kaister+SirCallen's position. Yeah. Lots of villagers going down for Kaiserklein. That's insane.
Kaiser losing actually 8 villagers early on. You can see it is recalculated economic unit population. He's such a small sliver on that graph now. It's quite insane actually. Even with Brit, now Callen and Kaister ahead. They are going to lose this blockhouse, but with the amount of strength are here, and there's actually not a lot of sort of anti-strength units. There's only a couple of longbows in the back here. I think they're going to hold on here, and a couple of Reuters are going to come out. Kaister building a blockhouse back home. Not Kaister, Callen even building a blockhouse back at home. So that's going to get up. The only problem here is that 700 wood. If that wasn't shipped forward, this would be an incredibly good start from Kaister and Callen. Yeah,
I agree completely. We do see Kaiserklein sending villagers to pick that up right now. Yeah, we do see Mitoe as Brits. He has villagers all over the map currently, trying to get some outposts and manors out to defend them. But yeah, it just shows you this map. You're so vulnerable when you have to go out for that. Reuters coming out now. Reuters and Strelets I expect to be the unit composition at this point. Reuters and Strelets versus Bow Riders and Longbow. I think I still prefer Bow Riders and Longbow. But
I think Bow Riders and Longbow might actually win just because of how powerful the units are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like the sort of Strelet and Reuter mass is probably more efficient. Especially now that you've got Vet and Charlotte, they're probably going to be coming in with some cav combat relatively soon for Kaister here. And also he shipped 1,000 wood. And if we look at how many banks is on here, Kaister actually on 4 banks, probably going to get his 5th down relatively soon. Although it's going up on the right hand side here. And actually going down for an artillery foundry. So this might be Reuter
nice.
Back to sort of wild cyber games. Back in 2007, that sort of way of playing Dutch, but yeah, Callen just massing Strelets here as well.
Yeah, we do see Kaiserklein and Mitoe both aging up right now. Sue aging up quickly, and Brits. Let's see what they're aging with. Aging with Adventure. Is that I believe that's a warship. Is that correct? Do you know? I don't remember the names.
What was the age up called?
Adventure. The Adventure.
No, the Adventure is the 6 longbows.
6 longbows, okay.
The warship one's called the Admiral of the Ocean Sea. 4 Cossacks do go down the top right of this map, but also actually I think this has just bought a lot of time for Callen and Kaister here. And because now the age up is coming in for Mitoe, Mitoe's now having to build a wall, put a lot of resources in this. That's a lot of villager seconds on that wall, as well as a decent chunk of wood, maybe 150 wood. And they're coming forward with a lot of Strelets here, a lot of Reuters, and at the same time, Kaister has a Falconet in queue. If he can get sort of 3 or 4 Falconets, or even just 2 Falconets out, which he does get 2 Falconets, this is going to be quite a strong push. These Bow Riders do have a 2x multiplier on the artillery, but there's so many Reuters here, so many Strelets here, that honestly, I mean, Mitoe's now pushing all the way far forward over to here for food, and yeah, and he's going to be in trouble, I think, soon. Just getting pushed off of his resources from the massive Reuter and Strelet and Falconet.
Yeah, he's going to have to go to berry bushes before too long. Let's make sure that they've scouted all the hunts and mines on their side. They have. I I will say longbow are exceptional versus ranged cavalry. One of the very best ones in the game. Bow riders also very, very good against their own against ranged cavalry themselves. So I do like those options in the Reuter. Reuter going in for a raid, kind of passing in the night. Kaiserklein not seeing it, and we're definitely going to see some villagers going down. I think at least one. And at the same time, Kaiserklein+Mitoe pushing into the blockhouse from SirCallen. We see that Kaister picked off that villager, I believe. Yes, he did. And then he is sending the his units back. Falconet's coming in now. So the micro of this fight is going to be really, really key. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Falconets do so well against longbows. They do just have the veteran longbow in as well as yeomen, so they can pick off those veterans themselves. Although I think this fight might actually go just about on the side of Kaister and Callen here. But imagine if those Reuters weren't out raiding. Imagine if they were in the fight, they would have just cleaned completely.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure Kaiserklein+Mitoe would have taken that fight if the Reuters were in it. So perhaps it's actually good for them that they're away, just to kind of pull Kaiserklein+Mitoe into the fight a little bit. And the outcome of that fight, I think, favors Kaister and SirCallen. It was pretty even at the beginning, but then Kaiserklein+Mitoe having to withdraw, Kaister and SirCallen were able to clean up some units on their way out. The Falconets coming in, looking at the Brits deck, he does have 2 Falconets himself. We'll see if he ships it. Yeoman, like you were mentioning, comes in, and we do see Kaister actually shipped 5 Hussar. Strelets and the Bow Riders go to basically shaking hands, but they did not do a whole lot. I do like the choice to add some cavalry out from Kaister. That's just going to keep them honest, keep the Bow Riders honest. But you got to be careful with them for sure, with all those Bow Riders around.
Yeah, you got to be careful of those Hussars. 2 Falconets are coming in the back. Going to be a bit down to Falconet micro here, I think, to the fight, but there's a lot of Reuters, a lot of Strelets with Boyars on them, so they're just so strong at the moment. 2 Dog Soldiers coming in for Sue instead of Team 2 Dog Soldiers. I think Team 2 Dog Soldiers is better.
Oh, those Falconets from both sides mismicroed, and we see that 2 of them, both of them down for Kaister, and both of them down for Mitoe. So a little bit fair trade, if you will. Lots of Reuters in here. Dog Soldiers pop onto the Strelets. That was a card, but it's. I think I'm gonna favor Kaiserklein+Mitoe in this fight. The Strelets and Longbows are pretty similar mass, but Longbows just 1v1 versus Strelets do so much better. And the Reuters are gonna pull out. The Strelets are gonna try to pull out too. I would say it's pretty even in that trade overall. Definitely a lot of Hussar lost, so perhaps it was a little bit better for Kaiserklein+Mitoe in that fight.
Yeah, but at the same time, there was a raid actually going up the top tier. So Callan getting a couple of Cossacks out with our Boyars on them. We're going to get at least a couple of vills for his trouble out of that raid. But again, the economies of both players actually roughly equal here. Callan did just send spice trade, so he is on those berries, so that's roughly the same as Hunt, I believe now. And I think the more time that Kaister and Callan have, the better they do. I believe Callan sort of needs to age at some point though. He just needs veteran Strelets and needs sort of Strelet combat to sort of actually do anything against this, or just mass some more Falconets from Kaister would be quite nice. Kaister is getting a boat on this document. What's up there? Oh, a couple of Mitoe's musketeers, I guess.
Yes, muskets just having fun, I guess. Just sitting there idle. We'll see how long it takes him to realize. Yeah, Doc coming out from Kaister. He's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna find much fish left in that pond. We do see Mitoe moving out right now. Falconets took down a blockhouse, and some Strelets and villagers under siege from those longbow. And some really good raid right here. Some more villagers going down by Kaiserklein. Dang, how low is he? How many has he lost? He's lost 14 villagers so far. That's a whole lot.
Yeah, Kaiser. Once all those ships go down, he's going to be on like 32 villages. Mitoe is on 61, but again, he's British. He's running out of hunts, and actually, he's not at a point where he can really afford to get pushed off because of the massive Russian Dutch here. I like the mixing of hostiles as well as the cavalry class which Dutch is massing. Does get 2 Colves out as well, which will help against the artillery foundry for Mitoe, which I believe Mitoe is probably going to be making more falconets. Actually, he isn't. He's not making anything.
Yeah, some villagers going down now for SirCallen. He is stuck in H2, and losing those villagers is going to be painful. He's got some losing to the muskets, and then also some on the front side too. Let's see how many he has lost so far. He has lost 9. We do see Kaister's army going in on the longbows and the bow riders. Perhaps the bow riders should just turn around and pick off those colves real quick though, but they have not done so far. Yeah, Kaister and SirCallen have a military mass advantage and have the eco advantage at the moment, but it's close, and really it's Sue having a bad eco and Russia having bad eco due to those raids being pretty effective. We do see that the caravel was taken out, and due to the garrisoning of the dock, and really bad fight here from Kaister. Really bad fight. Just see how effective longbows are. I think longbows just do really well. Of course, it is worth mentioning, longbows very good versus skirmisher type units. Strelets having really low HP though, and the longbows having every time they move, they are going to their attack animation is going to be reset. So if they move in between shots, firing on a separate strelets, they're not quite as ideal versus them, but being that they're low HP. But yeah, I think I'm liking this from Kaiserklein+Mitoe+Fare. It's really close, but I think their army composition is just better. Longbows and bow riders, I think, are just that much better than strelets and Reuter. But we'll see what happens. Lots to happen left in this fight.
I think what you need to do is, as Kaister+SirCallen here, is you need to maybe mass a decent amount of falconets, sort of 5 falconets, and sort of hope and pray that you're able to take out all those longbow with them. Although again, longbow do have 26 range, so actually longbow don't even do that badly against falconets, because you can just outrange them. And with the mass that Mitoe does have at the moment, if we look, 102 longbows Mitoe has here, and for we're basically just standing still in a massive mass. I don't think there's a single better unit than longbows just standing there and firing basically. And you can see how much damage they do to his voice. His voice is having 189 HP, and longbow is actually doing roughly 35 damage and attack against.
Yeah, longbows are really good in mass and extremely good versus ranged cavalry. Definitely, I would rather have them than strelets in this situation, too. And we'll just see that's a huge mass of them. We'll look at military units, see how many he has total. Currently, 100 longbow out from him. He has more longbow than he does villagers at the moment.
There's only sort of 20 bow riders. And what Kaister's doing now, just behind us, is he's massing a lot of veteran hostiles. Does he have cavalry combat in? Actually, he does have cavalry combat in. Would like to see wild gelders also come out via the Stradiates from the church, because he does have the church card sent there. And actually, I mean, even though it does look a bit like it's in dire straits at the moment for Kaister and Callen, I don't think they're dead and out, just as a
No, not by any means. No, I was just trying to figure out who had more of an advantage. It's actually extremely close. Kaiserklein+Mitoe+Fare have the better economy currently. Very even on military. But it is worth noting that the units out from Kaister and SirCallen are extremely cheap. They're not super pop efficient, not at least the strelets. But their units are very cheap. Reuter also very cheap, so they can make that economy last a bit longer. For anyone curious, because I have just been paying attention to it while watching the overlay, if my wife is going to co-cast the finals, assuming you reach that goal. If you guys do want to donate for future tournaments, though, just for prize pool, make sure there's really good tournaments coming in. You're always welcome to do that. You don't have to donate for whatever goal is there. You can always let me know what you want it to go towards, and I will make sure that happens. Getting to this fight, Longbows come forward. The Culverins get a nice shot on those Falconets. Lots of cav onto those longbows. The Bow Riders are coming from behind. That's not necessarily a very good position for them. They were not in there for the fight at all. The Reuters get on top of the Bow Riders, do some work. Strelitz coming in. If those Culverins can pick off the second Falconet, that'd be a really, really nice touch here. It's looking close. But I'm not sure there's enough Strelitz and cav here, honestly. We'll see. It's close. Very close fight. 150 to 123. Military pop currently. We do see Kaiserklein+Mitoe+Fare have the defender's advantage. So in a close fight like this, I think I would give it to the defenders. Although it's going really, really well for Kaister+SirCallen. Those cav did a whole lot of work. Lots of longbow going down. Look at the current military units for you guys real quick. About half of the longbows lost for Mitoe currently.
Yeah, Mitoe actually did go to industrial at that point as well, but I think it was a long time to go. I mean, Sue's bow riders are still alive. Only 7 or 8 hussars left, as well as 16 of those Reuters left. A lot of Strelitz are here. They do good damage against the longbows when they can get onto them, but at the same time, I mean, longbows when they're in mass are just so good. 3, 4, 5 are actually coming out for Share, pumping out units, and Mitoe's got the economy to get his mass back again, and there's the GG.
Yeah, GG. They lose that fight, and I think they could have probably played it longer. We saw in some previous matches they played very long, and they did really, really well. Yeah, I think, honestly, it just came down... It wasn't necessarily a Civ win. We saw that SirCallen did exceptionally well raiding Kaiserklein. I can't go to units lost right now, but we saw he lost at least 14 villagers, and... making arguably the best current 1v1 player, or best PR and Supremacy player currently. Lose that many villagers is really well done from him, so I like to see that.
Yeah, I feel like this is well played by Kaister and Callen. Maybe getting a slightly harder matchup, I'd argue, as well.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But actually, Kaiser even saying just then he lost 7 villagers in H2. That's pretty sloppy. I wouldn't know. Maybe
I think he lost 8, actually, if I remember seeing it correctly.
Nah, it's 7. You can see by the graph. It's 7. I think he hit one of the villagers was 7 HP or something at the end of it. But actually, Kaiser had the most DK at the end of the game somehow.
I think he trained one villager during that raid, because I looked at the units lost graph and I saw 8 lost. So I know he lost 14, and then he lost 8 early on. Maybe he lost that 8th a little bit later. I'm not sure. But either way, really, really well done from SirCallen. Yeah, well done from Kaister too. Well done all the way around. If it wasn't for that 700 wood shipping to the blockhouse, I think they might have taken that game. Yeah, 700 wood swing is huge. It's actually not only 700 wood lost for you, if you will. It's 700 wood gained for the opponent. So it's really, really big. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna look at the post-game stats real quick. Looking at the units killed, we see Mitoe just doing a whole lot of work with those longbows. Looking at the combat XP, we can see that echoed also the same. Look at the resources gathered, pretty close. SirCallen and Sue both pretty even, and also Mitoe and Kaister pretty even. Military unit population, we see that there. Kaiserklein had a lot early, but they didn't do as much with it. I would say that early game, Kaister and SirCallen did more with their military than with opponents. Sure, Kaiserklein+Mitoe got down a blockhouse and a stable, but losing that many villagers, I'd rather have villagers than a stable and a blockhouse.
Yeah, certainly.
We'll take a look at the villager population real quick. This doesn't take banks into account, and that's that. I'll look at team stats. Go ahead and mention whatever else you were wanting to mention in that match, right?
I think really the match ended up sort of going poorly, simply because Kaister, if you remember the fight around a blockhouse after Kaister had aged, he had a nice Reuter mass when he was raiding those Reuters. I feel like if he was back with those Reuters, maybe they could have swung the game at that sort of point, pushing with a massive Strelitz as well as Reuters. They ended up winning the fight, but they could have just cleaned it completely. But that was quite unfortunate. You've joined into the wrong spot. That's fine. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely a tough matchup for Russia and Dutch. Simply because Longbow are so good against Dutch as a whole, and sort of the same for against Russia. Longbow in themselves are just so good against Strelets. They're so good against Sevs, but don't have very good heavy infantry. Longbow tend to struggle against heavy infantry, but do very, very well against sort of skirmisher type units, which is. Those two Sevs have zero. Basically, I mean, you have musketeers from Russia, but they're sort of awful musketeers. So yeah, well played by I think all parties, but ultimately, Kaister and Mitoe coming ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was pretty rough in that situation. I think I like Dutch's choice to age early. It allowed you to change up your army composition a little bit, and I think they did all right with their unit choice first, and going musketeers and cav, just because I perhaps would have rather have seen at least as soon as you saw the opponent's army. But I mean, it's fairly good. They could go. They could have gone axe riders and musketeers. That would have been an option. But even axe riders and musketeers versus strelets and cav. I don't know. I think they could have gone maybe strelets and the strelets and cav from Kaister+SirCallen, and they didn't. Yeah, SirCallen, waiting on you to join. Okay, there we go. The people want are there. Yeah, I would love for Fair to play, but that's currently not what's happening. It's up to their team who plays. We're getting to the map real quick. Map Kamchatka. And the Civs. Ottomans. Otto and French. They're going to be happy with those, I'm pretty sure. We'll look at Kaister+SirCallen's now. Aztecs. Aztecs and Otto. All right.
Aztec and Otto. I think I'd prefer France Ottoman here.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, Aztec and Otto isn't a bad combo because you can go.
Not by any means.
You can go Abbas and Abbas Coyote, but again, Hussars beat Coyote, so I don't know. I think I would prefer France Ottoman here, especially on Kamchatka. You do have that scout for Ottoman, not for Ottoman, for France, which you can take over yaks, not yaks, goats with, and you also start with a monkey, I think, so you can take some nice treasures there. But yeah, I don't know. This isn't a bad matchup. I don't think I've ever seen this in team for 2v2 before.
Yeah, it is unusual to see Ottoman versus Ottoman and then Aztec in France. One thing I really like about the 2v2 Jackpot tournament is you see matchups you never really see before. It is worth mentioning, I don't know, I think well, Otto and France are just solid civs. I would perhaps say that Aztec and Ottoman kind of complement each other more, though. They complement each other's strengths. Both are really, really good at rushing. Although Kaiserklein+Mitoe+, I expect in this game Kaister+SirCallen to go a little bit more early aggression, and Kaiserklein+Mitoe+ trying to get to age 3 safely. That's what I expect. And in previous, go ahead.
They asked for a respin.
Oh, they did. Okay, SirCallen asked for a respin. I know they don't really like to play Aztecs too much, them specifically, so perhaps that's why. But
it would be an interesting matchup, though.
Yeah,
because you can go. I know you like going stealth coyotes.
I did that one game. I think I've done that twice in my life. It's just really fun when it works.
Yeah, but obviously ERK and Abascon is a really, really strong combination. One of the strongest, I would argue.
And then earlier, the Mesa-Hualton or Mech-Hualton and the Janissaries are really, really strong too.
Mace just, I don't know, Mace just sort of get ripped apart by Abascons.
Fair
it's
enough.
actually pretty insane. Russians Ivo for Kaister and Callen. I think they're going to be happy with that against Ottoman and Germany here. Although again, Russia is bad against Ottoman and so is Zero actually bad against Ottoman, so we have to wait and see.
Yeah. So Russians and Iroquois. Auto Germany versus Russians Iroquois. I think I'm happy. If I was in Kaister+SirCallen's position, I would be happy with this. Really, really good H2 aggression possibilities. They go Tomahawk, Strelets. They have Cav cards they can ship that will deal with some of the raids and whatnot. And then Kaiserklein+Mitoe+Fare. Auto's really good in H2. Germany, not so much. So I think I'd be happy with this if I was in Kaister+SirCallen's position. Ottomans are very good. The Avis are just very good. Ottomans are straight up good, whether it be 1v1 or 3v3 or whatever. Germany, I know Kaiserklein loves Germany, but it is Mitoe playing it, and we'll see what happens here. I'm excited for this match. Lots of potential here.
Yeah, huge amount of potential to play H2 for Kaister and Callen. Obviously, you do have water there. I do know that Callen, especially with Russia, likes to play a bit of water. So you might see that coming in. And as you said, Germany, especially against these two civs, Iroquois and Russia, aren't actually the best. Germany obviously has H2 Ulan, which aren't the greatest. They're good at raiding, but we'll have to wait and see, really. See what happens, because in an actual fight, they're not too great.
Yeah, I expect something like crossbows, maybe a few Ulans, certainly from cards, and then Ottomans going Janissaries for Kaiserklein+Mitoe+Fare. And then Kaister and SirCallen, I definitely expect Tomahawks and Strelets. They may mix in some Cav as they can, but you could also go something like Cavalry from Russia and Tomahawks with maybe a few Aina from Kaister. But yeah, I think as far as the matchup goes, I think I'd prefer to have Iroquois and Russians here. It's going to be really close, but I do prefer them for sure.
That looks looking green in here. Kaister is the last one to be ready. Hopefully ready up in second. There you go. Manchuria as a map as a whole, I think it's probably better for Russia and Iro here. Iroquois does have the ability to convert some units, and you also have some really, really nice treasures you can pick up. There's a war hub treasure, which is particularly nice for Iroquois, as it's over a stable war hut, I think is how it works. And again, you do have a water, but anything can happen. It's 2v2. It's a bit more random than 1v1, I'd say. But it is also a wood start, which is probably better for Kaiser and Mitoe here.
Yeah, it's really good for Iroquois. Also, Russia can build a trade post, but usually they don't do anything like that. As Russia, you kind of struggle to age on 14 builds without any idle TC time. So I don't know what we're gonna see, but yeah, it's definitely really good for Germans and Ottomans. It's like you build a mosque early, but it's not. The mosque is really good, but it's not. It's not like being the difference between being able to build a trade post and not, as Iroquois or something. We do see that Iroquois is going forwards. I think it's going to actually build a longhouse, or chop wood for a longhouse, and then build a farm. Certainly a possibility. He's not going to do that. He's just using the... No, he is. He is. So, where's his Travois? It's off to the side. He's going to build a farm with it and make full use of these yaks.
I like that, actually. Doesn't go for the TP, which obviously you won't be able to push as quickly or whatever, or have you. But for those yaks, if you can get a decent number of them, if you can get like 6 or 7, it definitely pays off to do that. And of course, you do have the upgrades in the farm. And you also get a decent amount of XP from the farm, if I recall correctly. You get 80 for building it, which is probably a single pass on this TP socket here. I do like the fact that Mitoe and Kaiser have got basically the TP line behind it, so they can upgrade that nice and quickly. And at the same point, the natives on this map, Zen temples, not particularly too useful, so nobody's going to go for those. And Kaiser or Kaister and Kaister and Callen. It's so confusing with two people with basically the same name. Can take out that trading post and get it for themselves later on. So it's not too much of a problem that Kaister has gone for this farm and not for a trading post earlier.
Yeah, we see very different strategy for the openings from these players. We saw that Kaister and SirCallen went forward and got Yaks. Looking at how many each player has.
I have this motion.
Sorry, guys. Pinky is now blocked from my server.
That's yeah, that's not the nicest thing to do, I guess.
No, not nice at all. Not very respectful of others. But getting back to it, yeah, Kaister and SirCallen, they did really, really well. It's I like that choice. Looking at the economic unit, it is 7 out for Mitoe and Kaiserklein. Sorry, no, just 2. They only have 2 Yaks. Kaister and SirCallen having 12. Very, very different. They're playing. Let me ask them if they need you to.
Because you just alt-tabbed to mute that guy.
Yeah, probably.
Hmm. I can just I can out here. It doesn't matter too much, and I think I'll let you solo cost. It's getting a bit late for me anyway. Are you ready? Which is unfortunate, but
okay.
I have to unpause, and then I'll have to.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Getting back to it. Yeah. So, I'm sorry that you had to leave, right? But thanks so much for co-casting. I appreciate you a lot.
It's fine. I'll continue watching actually.
Oh, cool.
Chat. So yeah, good luck, and hopefully the games are quite enjoyable.
All right. You have a good one. Right. Update the score. Thank you. Kaiserklein+Mitoe are up 1-0. So this is it's 1-0. We see that Germany has not aged yet. Definitely a late age from him. Just starting to now. No, is he? He's feeding Kaiser. No, he's not. Okay. He is just a delay. All right. He's starting to age right now. And that's looking really, really good from Kaiserklein, from Kaister and SirCallen. The score is 1-0. Yes. Looking good from them. Looking around the map, there's a few Yaks left to be picked up. And we see that Mitoe is picking up a couple right now. No one has gone for C. Let me look at the decks real quick for these players. And a fairly standard deck out from Mitoe. Nothing. He doesn't have the Jaegers. That is worth noting. Looking at Kaiserklein's deck, he does have all the Abyss cards. He fairly standard deck himself. Looking at Russian's deck, he has a couple warships in there. And then looking at Iroquois, yeah, looking good. He does have Fur Trade in there. That's an interesting card, something you don't see every day. But on this map, there's very few mines that are safe. You have your starting mines, and then there's one off to the side for both teams, a gold mine, and then it's pretty much mines in the middle of the map. So that looks really good for them there. Yeah. Let me update something real quick for you guys. There we go. All right, back to the game. Looking really good for Kaister and SirCallen, I think. That farm with all those Yaks is really, really nice. Just looking at the economic units, it is 3 apiece for Kaiserklein and Mitoe, 12 for Kaister, so double the Yaks out for their team. Looking at the rest of it, Russia is a blockhouse and base. Iroquois does have. Oh, we see. Oh, I didn't catch this until just now. The Sohi out from Kaiserklein. That is going to do a lot. Some bugged natives on the trade post. Oh, that hurts. There's some bugs in AoE 3, and they are aggravating. This villager might be able to go... No, it does. It is saved. So nicely done. Warhead out from Kaister in base. So it appears like they're wanting to play a little bit more passive. Looking at their resources, Kaister's not really gathering coin yet. And what does he have on villager ups? He has hunting dogs. That's basically it. Looking over at SirCallen, he's getting steel traps now. We see Germany has steel traps, plaster mines, and gang saw. And then Ottomans doesn't have any ups currently. A raid coming in from SirCallen here. The Uhlans are trying to defend them and just chasing them away. Some tomahawks onto the native building. And those Cossacks are going to be caught. I wouldn't be surprised if all of them go down. Yeah, they should all go down. Well done from Mitoe, using the trees to his advantage there. The Sohi even getting in on a couple of hits themselves. Really, really well done. That's 5 Cossack. On at the same time, we see the Cossack doing some good work on the left over here. The stable out from SirCallen, Blockhouse now. This is unexpected. And I don't believe Kaiserklein+Mitoe know that it's there. They're not going back for it. Yeah, they don't suspect it yet. So that's really, really nice touch out from SirCallen. We'll see what he does with it. A little bit of good play from these guys, unexpected play. We saw that Kaiserklein went for the native building, and SirCallen doing proxy, a sneak, stable, and a barracks. And some cav coming into the back of his opponents here. This is, I'm excited for this. I expect Kaister to go age 3 before too long. He's not massing a whole lot of units. I think he's just getting lots of ups. No, he's not. What's he doing? I'm not sure what he's doing. Building some longhouses. So he coming over to the trade post now, doing some work on that. And yeah, getting some raids in. Let's see. Let's look at units lost and see how many have gone down. 3 villagers for Mitoe, so that's a good start. You don't want to bring the Uhlan back to your stable. He doesn't. Okay, he brings them away. That's a good touch there. Bring them away, and the Uhlans do not scout that. So well done. And this trade post should go down shortly. We see Kaiserklein is age 3. He's getting some additional TCs out and trying to siege down this with the Sohi, but the war chief makes quick work of him with his ability. Dude, stop it.
Daddy.
Dude. Pinky, you are banned on Twitch now. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why people disrespect others so much, but he apparently does not disrespect humans, or does not respect humans. All right. Yeah, getting into it. Yeah. All right. And we see that Ulan's going back now. He does suspect a stable, and perhaps it's because he saw villager. No, that villager is just within sight now. So, really well done from SirCallen there, and yeah, yeah. The Avis guns making short work of those muskets. The Uhlan coming and doing some good work. They're going to be able to keep that blockhouse down. The villager out from SirCallen just made it away, but I think there's a really good chance that it was spotted on the way out. Let's look at the units lost real quick for you guys. See if more villagers have gone down, more have not. Yeah. Yeah, looking good from him. And yeah, Tomahawk's coming forward. Kaister is age 3. SirCallen is the only one not in age 3. If he can do do a lot of damage though early and keep his opponents down, that could be a nice touch. We see his 131 score, 82 versus 136 and 109, and this TC will be denied. The villager from SirCallen has not gone down yet, but the military buildings in the back have been cleaned up. We'll see what SirCallen's going to do on the back of this. He's just about to age up himself. And we do see that Kaister is going for some water now. Yeah, Neo Nash, I did ban him from this server, but he made a new account and he just did that. So he is intent on ruining the lives of human beings. But yeah, we're not going to give him too much attention. That's what he wants. But yeah, getting back to the game. Another good raid out from Kaister and SirCallen here. That's going to be one villager going down. Perhaps some more. Ulan's coming in to clean him up. It is worth noting that Kaiserklein+Mitoe have not been able to gather many resources themselves. They have a bigger military by far. Basically 100 to 25, 4 times the size. But they have been put they've been put under a lot of pressure. Kaiserklein+Mitoe have the eco advantage, very far behind militarily. It's worth noting that those Ulans are not worth a whole lot. But I mean they're worth a lot, but they're not very pop efficient. We do see SirCallen getting raided here. Couple villagers, 3 villagers going down. I believe 4 villagers may have gone down, maybe just 3. But the army out from Kaister and SirCallen are not enough, and this is a whole lot of siege potential. So I think they're going to take this game, but we'll see what happens. The Ulan try to turn onto the Forest Prowlers, and I don't think there's enough anti-cap here. More Tomahawks sent forward. I believe that was from the big button. So they have the ability. The cannons pop up from behind, take down both of the Falconets from Kaiserklein. Really well done from him. War Wagon's coming in now, though, clean up the second Falconet. And the Tomahawks and Forest Prowlers are really, really good here, but I don't think there's enough. 61 to 97 military pop. Just not enough military out from their side yet. More Tomahawks coming in now. Most of the Ulan are down. That's pretty much all the Ulan are down, in fact. So it's looking... the Forest Prowlers are not going to be under threat as much. This is actually really close. They do have defender's advantage. All of the units, all the Avis and War Wagons still up, though. Very, very strong. Or most of them still up. Yeah. So... very low military pop out from Kaister and SirCallen currently. They do have eco. Perhaps they boomed a tad bit too hard. SirCallen, I really like the choice to go proxy stable. He is raiding with units in the back, though. If he is H3, I would like to see some Oprichniks out. So we see stable out now from him and just raiding, doing a lot of damage, doing as much damage as they can. It's at least making the opponents not focus on it. And this fight is swinging over to their favor. Kaister and SirCallen are going to clean up all the War Wagons. And Cap getting onto the Avis now. It's only a couple, but there's no anti-cap for them. And really good micro from the Avis there. And they're going to take them down. Some Ulans coming forward, going to make sure nothing else pops in on them. War Wagons moved by. I'm not sure they saw the stable. It was really, really close. I think perhaps they did. It was really close whether they did or not. He does. He saw it. Okay, he saw it. And more Oprichniks coming out. Ulan going in onto SirCallen now. We'll see. Let's look at units lost real quick. And it is SirCallen losing 7, Kaister losing 1, Mitoe and Kaiserklein losing 4 and 4. Yeah. Yeah, 81 to 86 economically, 78 to 49, Kaiserklein and Mitoe They have stabilized. They do have the better eco. At this point, though, Avis guns and war wagons extremely strong. Russia, later on, though, it's worth noting that Kaister and SirCallen don't have extremely strong anti-cav civs, or anti-cav. Tomahawks are probably their best bet, but you really want those forest prowlers out. Perhaps we're going to see something like cavalry archers and forest prowlers, which is pretty decent. Cavalry archers actually have a pretty fast rate of fire, so they do pretty decent into the war wagons. War wagons extremely strong though. Yeah, more Ulan coming in to raid, and it looks like Kaister just doing some good work onto the Avis, moving in with the Kanya horsemen right now, making them back up, and the war wagons reinforced, keep the cav off of them. Getting back to the raids now from the Ulan. Half of them are idle. The villager went down, the proxy villager, the sneak villager. And it is, Kaiserklein+Mitoe have more map control, have more natural resources. So that's really big on this map. Some raids out. We see Mitoe with the forward villager. Yeah, unexpected. Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. The musket riders coming in onto the Cossacks. That's nice. The Ulan need to get onto the Strellas, but they're pretty much all down now. The town center is going to go down. Second blockhouse, or whatever, third blockhouse, whatever it is at this point. Fourth, actually, probably, but second current blockhouse does go up. Musket riders aren't going to do a whole lot here. Sorry, musket riders are, sorry, I was getting it confused. Musket riders are Kaisters. So they do hold on there, and some walls out from Mitoe, kind of just denying the raids and perhaps sneak units a little bit. The economy out from Kaister is really, really good. The fishing boats is going to do a whole lot. Looking at the economy, it is actually Kaiserklein and Mitoe in the lead now, 103 to 96, and Kaister and SirCallen behind militarily, 76 to 100. That's pretty close, though. That's not... a bunch of them can be created before there's a fight. No one is aging up currently. Looking at the resources, no one expects to anytime soon. Kaister trying to take a fight, 1v2, and that didn't go too well. Not in his favor. Versus the war wagons, he can do alright, but yeah. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah. Alright, so this fight is just better for the Avis and war wagons. Yeah, some cav coming in from behind, though. If they get onto the Avis, that could be really, really big. But they're getting onto the war wagons. Ouch, that's not ideal. If they can take down the war wagons quickly, though, before losing too many Cossacks, that could be okay, I suppose. But you really want to get onto those Avis. And they... Yeah... The war wagons have melee resist, and the Avis have range resist. So you want the Cossack on the Avis and the Strellas and the Forest Prowlers on the war wagons. Not to mention the multipliers they have, etc. But yeah, looking at the rest of the map, why is he sending villagers forward? I guess he just wanted to herd that hunt a little bit. Looking at the natural resources, it appears Kaister and SirCallen are almost completely out. We do see Kaister dancing for farms and plantations, and then DJ Too Strong is not. SirCallen is not building any mills or plantations yet. There's a few villagers on wood. This is where the economy, the fishing is going to come into play. Kaister is going to have villagers on whales and fish, and that's going to really, really help. While Kaiserklein and Mitoe, they have very few natural resources left. A little bit more than Kaister and SirCallen. A little bit of hunt here and a little bit of hunt here. There is 2.5k left on that mine, 4k left on that mine, and 1.5k left on this mine. Well, there's also a mine in the back. a gold mine. It's almost out though. 700 left, and they have enough natural resources left. In all reality, they're not having to switch over quite yet. So really, if anything, this is bad for SirCallen. He's gonna have nothing left. He's got that gold mine. It's actually 3k left on it, but he's out of hunts. This is the only 2 deer he has left available to him, I believe. So, yeah, that chief coming out just to get an ability off, maybe not worth it. If he dances for it, that's okay. And he is doing so. The Caustic and Strelet. So Caustic and Strelet out from him. Musket Rider and Forest Prowler with some Kanya Horsemen. That's a lot of Kanya Horsemen, actually. War Wagons, arguably the best ranged cab versus heavy cavalry, though. So we'll see what he does with it, though. War Wagons, very, very strong versus Caustic and Kanya Horsemen. We see 3 Caustic going down in that volley. A 4th goes down. Ulan get onto the Strelets. There's not very many Forest Prowlers out for them. The Avis are strong, but we'll see if the Cab get on top of them. The gates there are going to do a whole lot. That's going to completely give them the advantage in this fight for sure. They probably would have been able to do a decent amount beforehand, but those gates are going to keep all those Avis completely safe. And those War Wagons, I'm not even sure they're going to go down completely. Backing up, that's a good choice. The Avis now firing, and yeah, SirCallen resigns. It's over for them. Couldn't tell him GG. Yeah. Alrighty, we'll get into the post-game stats real quick for you guys. We see Mitoe and Kaiserklein just smashing that. It is worth noting there versus Russia, so that's going to be a little bit inflated. Combat XP is a little bit more accurate when there is a Russia and a Germans in the game, and a Ottomans for that matter. So yeah, combat XP definitely over to Kaiserklein and Mitoe though. We'll look at resources gathered. Kaister, he was okay. Once he got off the hunts and mines though, you saw the difference that made. And SirCallen kind of just struggling for a while there. He had to put his villagers in the TC at times and blockhouse and whatnot. That was rough. Kaiserklein, pretty strong economy, 3 TCs down. Really well done from him. We also saw 3 TCs out from Germany too, while Kaister and SirCallen had 2 out. I believe he just recently built this TC and Kaister only on 1. So well played from Kaiserklein and Mitoe. They take game number 2. I'm going to update that score real quick. And we'll get into the third one in just a bit. And getting into the next game shortly. All right, we're not having Riot co-cast. Let me, so it's now 5 slots. Let me get the map for you guys. Game number 2 was just completed. We're getting into game number 3. Kaiserklein and Mitoe took game number 2, so it's 2-0 up for them. The map is Baja, California. And we'll get the civs now. Kaiserklein and Mitoe first. Spanish. Spanish Sioux. And now for SirCallen and Kaister. French and Sioux. Alright, so Spanish Sioux versus French Sioux. Generally speaking, I think players would prefer France and Sioux here. But it is worth noting that Spanish is really, really good in H2 versus Sioux. They don't really have that great of infantry, although I wouldn't be surprised, a little bit of a heads up, I wouldn't be surprised if Kaister went for a War Hut play here. But that being said, Spanish does really well versus cavalry, and if microed, better than your opponent versus ranged cav. So once the rifle riders come out from Sioux, Rottler Rose does really well versus the rifle riders do really well versus the Rottler Rose. But until then, bow riders and cav do not do the rods. They're gonna have to run from the rods, so raids are not going to be as effective. Yeah. Kaiserklein wants a respin. All right, we are going to get that for them. The map is going to be Baja California again. And then we'll get the civs for you guys. French. French and Spanish for Kaiser and Mitoe. And for SirCallen and Kaister, it is Indians and French. Indians and French. Alright, so French being the civ that both teams have in this combination. Spanish versus Indians, though. Kaiserklein and Mitoe do not have a reroll left for this match. SirCallen and Kaister do. But yeah. It is a best of 5 Neo Nash, that is correct. All right. Yeah. Let me take a look at something real quick for you guys. Hold on just a bit. All right, getting back into the game. So yeah, Indians and French. Indians and French versus French and Spanish. I think generally speaking, Indians and French would be considered the better civs here. Spanish, I like Spanish a lot, but most players don't. There's only a few that really like it. Yeah. Score is 2-0 for Kaiserklein and Mitoe. It is a best of 5 DJ Semla. It is a turning game in Lincoln Sing. It is a best of 5 Kaiserklein and Mitoe up 2-0. The map is Baja California. Oftentimes you see players going somewhat C on this map, although in it's possible that they won't for sure. Let's see. Yeah, looking good. All right, we'll get into it. This is the semifinals, Lee can sing. The semifinals and the finals will be the next match whenever it comes. I will try to get that information to you right after this game. We will see what it is. Yeah, I would prefer to have India, France over Spain and France, but I don't know. If anyone can pull it off, Kaiserklein+Mitoe can. We'll see what happens. If you guys want to see my webcam, I can do that. It was asked of me to not have a webcam so that we could see more of the game during the casted tournament games. You guys go ahead and message me, tag me in chat, and tell me what you want. Though, if you guys really want to see my webcam, I am happy to do that too. Waifu is my wife. No, they're not playing with Cheech Tokugawa. That was just for the lag test. It allows you to get a lot of units out quickly, and it allows you to tell if it's lagging easier. So here we go. Game number 3, semifinals match. Kaiserklein+Mitoe versus DJ Too Strong and Kaister. That is SirCallen and Kaister. We have Kaiser spawning in the blue as the French. We'll go to his spawn here. Blue is the French. We have Mitoe spawning in Spanish, or in teal as the Spanish. DJ Too Strong spawning in yellow as the French, and then Kaister spawning in green as the Indians. So for this map, there are a few TPs. ATP is a possibility. It's not something you always see on this map. But with Spanish being in the game and them being able to make full use of ATP, Advanced Trade Post, that is definitely a possibility. Looking at the start, it was a food start, it appears. Let me confirm that. Yeah, I believe it was a food start. We see SirCallen trying to get a market up ASAP. And India, of course, is not building anything right now. We see Kaiserklein already built a market. And Mitoe is going to... He just built a house, and that's it for Spanish currently. I'm expecting him to age. One option from Spain is an FF. It's all this. Another option is going C. We'll see what happens, though. Yeah. The last two games close. The first one was really close, Tokugawa. We saw SirCallen playing really, really well and getting... Kaiserklein lost 14 villagers, 8 of them in H2. Really well done from him. Last game, not quite as much. Some people are saying no webcam. Some are saying yes to webcam. We'll see what you guys want. Most of you guys are saying no. One of you guys is saying yes. Yep, I'll be happy to put the webcam back up after the tournament match has ended. Looking at everything else, let's see what happens. We're getting to the map right now. And some... Yeah, just scouting with the scouts. You can see it's pretty easy to wall parts of it. You cannot wall the trade route itself, so it's kind of hard to wall it completely. But you can narrow down where your opponent is going to come from. It's also worth noting that going C on your side, although most of the C is behind your base, is very effective. It's also effective to go C on the opponent's side and denying them the ability to boom on C. Take a look at the decks real quick now that everyone has selected one. We see that Kaiserklein does not have a C deck. Pretty standard deck, though. Has a few options for military shipments. That's about it, though. Mitoe has a few himself. Not a whole lot, just 3, really. Does have Spanish gold. I could foresee a FF from him with this deck, though. Doesn't look very H2 focused. Looking over at Kaister's deck, India deck, he does have Team Thuggies. That's 20 Thuggies for 1k coin. Also has Team Urami, Tiger Claws, etc. So that's good to see. He does have East India men also. Looking over at France's deck, DJ Too Strong's deck is pretty comparable to the deck from Kaiserklein. No warships out from him. I do like the choice to put the aggro between the players. On this map, players spawn very, very far from each other. And it's pretty easy to actually get between them with army and deny their armies from being able to link up. Having an aggro here is going to do a lot towards allowing SirCallen and Kaister to have their army together. Looking around, trying to find any villagers, sneak villagers coming forward. We see that Mitoe built a trade post on the opponent's side, and SirCallen doing the same right here. We do see that Kaiserklein is going for this trade post in the middle. I believe he tried to build it out the bottom, but he was denied, and now he's building it in the middle. So well done from them. And it looks like Kaister was going to build a TP and then deleted it, perhaps. I'm not sure. No, he tried building it again. Okay, but it's not going to be built either way. So he has a bunch of wood. We'll see what he does with it. Building a market now. No one has gone for C yet, and no sneak villagers either. I do like Mitoe dealing with this scout. That's nicely done from him. We do see Kaiserklein building a barracks in base, and Spanish has sent 700 coin, 700 wood. He's doing an FF. So we're going to have H3 Spain without heavy aggression from SirCallen and Kaister. So they're going to need to follow it up before too long with H3 themselves. We do see France building a stable. And, of course, the aggro is out for Kaister. So currently it is a barracks out from Kaiserklein and no military building yet. Okay, we do have a barracks out from Mitoe now. Double barracks for their team. I do expect one of them to go a stable before too long. Both Spain and France has really good cavalry. So we'll see what they do though. We see Kaiserklein is just now scouting and seeing what his opponent is doing. 700 wood sitting on the ground. SirCallen gathering it now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ages before too long. A semi-FF kind of thing. Although Kaister and Indians having really good shipments in H3 could definitely be an option too. I do like Kaiserklein scouting. He's scouting the opponents, seeing what they're doing with their shipments. And he's also scouting the shoreline and trying to see if there are any docks being built by the opponent. So I really like that touch from them. Let's see the rest of it. 10 musketeers coming out. That they're going to be able to clean up the TP from DJ Too Strong, SirCallen pretty easily. They will have a TP line at that point. The Sepoy and the monk from Kaister is cleaning up the trade post of Mitoe's. We see Mitoe just hit H3 just now. Cavalry coming forward from SirCallen. He's going to run into musketeers and pikes though, so I doubt he's going to get a whole lot done. He does see the opponent right now. Cavalry coming in. You're going to pick off a villager or just keep on running through. Just going to run through. We do see that Kaiserklein has built a dock. So France has built a dock. And I believe he's just going to be scouting the shoreline, trying to find some docks and whatnot. He could also be looking to place a home city flag on the opponent's side. We see that India already has one on the opponent's side. Musketeers come forward to defend this villager in the dock. Or come back, rather. Hey, Prez, how's it going? Alright, so DJ Too Strong doing well here. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's look at the rest of it. Some Cav getting in on a villager. I think he's going to get one villager down. Let's look at units lost real quick. Make sure I haven't lost any villagers going down. No, that is the first one to go down. The cavalry do make it out. One of them died in the process, I believe. The musketeers and falconets onto the Agra. This is a really important part of this fight, and they should take that down without too much trouble. Cav trying to raid, but Kaiserklein expecting that and getting some good damage down onto the Hussar. Lots of musketeers out, and the falconets doing a lot. We see that DJ Too Strong, SirCallen, and Kaister are hitting age 3 now, with the ceasefire option to age 3. So with that, he is going to be able to allow his teammates some more time. It is nerfed on EP. It does not last quite as long, but it's still going to be a nice touch. Allow them to get some more done. I believe the villager ran behind the trees here, and the Cav were not able to run through. So actually, if that is what happened, some really good micro, if you will, from Kaiserklein. We see that Mitoe and Kaiserklein are onto the houses and barracks and whatnot from the opponents. This is when a ceasefire would be a really nice touch right before the houses go down. But they do need to have enough military units out to deal with that. You want to use that time very efficiently. Perhaps they're going to use it to get onto your opponents. We'll see what happens with the rest of this. Some falconets were just shipped by SirCallen. He is losing all of his infrastructure. He is at 113 out of 40 population currently. And that's actually mostly due to the thuggies that were shipped. So thuggies shipped back at home. And nobody is... Wait, so the thuggies from Kaister are going forward. SirCallen has not... okay, the thuggies are here. So they're going to use the thuggies, and that's what they're going to use to try to finish off this fight. And I think they're going to be able to do decently well. They really need those cannons down. The ceasefire is called, and opponents going in. If those, the next few moments are going to be really critical. If those falconets can go down, then that's going to be really, really big. And they are still up. The thuggies firing on them. The falconets firing too. And one of them goes down. Other one, it does go down. So they get 0 shots off in the midst of that fight. The falconets from SirCallen are going to go down themselves. The thuggies are going to do really well in this fight. They're somewhat comparable to Abyss. 45 attack, 210 HP. They have a very slow rate of fire, but very, very strong stats. And they are going to push this back. A lot of damage was done. By Kaister and Mitoe, though. Looking at the economy, it's pretty much smack dab even, 74 to 72. Militarily, though, 130 to 34. These thuggies cost 6 military population each, so 120 of that, or close to 120, is the thuggies. So what you see on the field is pretty much what they have. Thuggies they do almost one-shot the Lancers, but the Lancers do really well versus them. Kaister needs to turn and shoot. And yeah, finish off those Lancers. Almost all the thuggies go down to those Lancers and the units behind. So yeah. Looking at the rest of it, let's see. Sepoy coming out, so it's looking like Sepoy for Kaister. Skirmishers and Lancers out from Mitoe. And Kaiserklein building Musketeers. A fort coming out from France here. If that goes up, that could be really, really nice to just allow them some semblance of control between their two bases. The Sepoy doing pretty well versus the Lancers, but the Skirmisher is picking off a lot of Sepoy. And Lancers also, they don't fare terribly into the Sepoy themselves. Take a look at Mitoe's deck real quick. Let's see what he has in the way of Lancer cards. He has every single card that affects Lancers. That fort is going to go up, it looks like. It builds very slowly, about halfway up. And those Falconets out from Kaiserklein now. Gonna get a good shot. The Gendarme coming forward, though, that's really big. Gendarme from Kaiserklein at the same time. That is huge. Without the Falconets do go down to the Gendarme. Gendarme needs to get onto this Skirmishers, though. That's really what needs to happen. Let the Sepoy do as much as they can versus the Gendarme. Those Skirmishers go down, even if you lose a few Gendarmes because of it, it's really, really worth it. Skirmisher is still going forward from Mitoe. He calls them back just at the right time. So really, really nice pot of Gendarme there. And I believe they're going to see the Skirmishers. It was close. And they do now with the CDB coming forward. So the Gendarme should be able to pick off some more of those Skirmishers. And Sepoy moving back. Kaiserklein and Mitoe still have all 3 TPs, though. That's really, really, really important. And we'll see what he does with the rest of his Gendarmes here. Gendarme. And there's a few pikes just protecting that trade post. Gendarme look like they're going to make it out. Some good, quick walling from SirCallen there. And looking around, we do see that Kaiserklein trying to get some raids in. We'll take a look at units lost. Very few economic units lost so far. Very few villagers lost. It's a lot of Gendarme. A few goons out from SirCallen. Kaiserklein having a little bit more. It's looking currently like it's pure Skirmishers out from Mitoe. We see it's almost pure Skirmishers from Kaister also. The Musketeers do find some villagers, but they run on by. Sepoy should clean up the rest of that. Skirmishers moving forward. Gendarme and Goons moving forward onto the opponents. TC going up for Indians right now. That going up is going to delay the opponents getting over to him. The Gendarme, Goons, and some Skirmishers out from SirCallen. They should get some work done here. The Missionaries out from Mitoe already. That's going to allow those Skirmishers to do a lot, but Gendarmes are still going to clean them up like crazy. The Missionaries only affect the attack of units, nothing else. It doesn't affect, of course, what units counter what. And the Gendarme getting on top of the Skirmishers. We see that Kaiserklein is sending his goons back, trying to raid with his Gendarme, and he's going to find some villagers here. That's a lot of villagers, and well, they should all go down. All of his villagers are off on that side. The sentries are sent forward, sent to it. Some Sepoy sent too. The boat's coming forward to pick up some of the villagers. That's a nice touch. That's actually really, really good. He's not going to lose as many as he would have unless he loses the boat. I don't know. No villagers were in that boat. Okay. And they are just going over to this side. And looking back at this fight, Skirmishers are... yeah. Looks like SirCallen's going to lose this fight. The Gendarme are getting on to the Goons, slowing them all down. And the Goons are going to finish off the Goons. The gate, though, is going to do a lot. Most of those Skirmishers are going to make it out safe. And he may pick off a couple units on his way out. Yeah. That gate was pretty huge. Well played from SirCallen. We also see Kaister doing really well with his catamarans, keeping as many villagers alive as possible. Look at units lost. See how many he lost. He lost 7. He had a lot more villagers there than 7. So I'd be happy with the outcome of that. Sad with the raid in the first place, but he saved most of his villagers there. Looking at the economy is 107 to 101. Looking at the scores, though, is 239 and 148 versus 153 and 151. We see a lot of that is in the military out from Kaiserklein, and he's going to take out these skirms. The skirms try to make it to the gate, but they're not gonna make it. We see SirCallen is pretty low on military pop. Kaister is too. This TC is perhaps going to go down though. It is not yet. But yeah, SirCallen calls it. GG, well played. And that should be the end of this series for sure. Alright, I'm going to take a look at something real quick. No one has resigned yet. Perhaps it was a tactical GG, but really, Kaiserklein and Mitoe are very, very far up in this game. SirCallen's saying pretty sad, to be honest. No liking 2v2 games together. Yeah. Alrighty. Alright. SirCallen is out. Okay. And we're just waiting on Kaister to go out too. We'll take a look at unit slots real quick. Nothing. Wait, SirCallen deleted all of his villagers. Okay. Looking at shipment sent. Yeah, that's all the support gonna go down.